Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to Siggy Air. Today is a beautiful day here in our favorite airport, our home airport of Laconia, New Hampshire. And it's an exciting day because we're going to take a flight to Rhode Island, to TF Green Airport there, International Airport. Why? Because it's Sim Expo 2025. And we're going to fly from here, and it's going to be about an hour flight. And I'm all excited about this. I'm all excited. I'm attending Sim Expo 2025, and unfortunately, I can only do Sunday, but I'll be there. I'll be checking out what's going on with in the world of Flight Sim, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Flight Sim in general. There's gonna be different vendors there, so it's not just gonna be Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, but we are along the way. We are gonna take a look at the floor plan. We're gonna take a look at who is there, who is not, and hopefully talk about some of our wishes, our wish list to for this year's Sim Expo 2025. So let's get started. Join me in the P28 Arrow 3, the turbo version, and we're gonna get it started, and then we're just gonna take a, we're gonna quickly take off here and get going and talk about all of the things that are we excited about. I guess I can't say that enough. All right, let's get in here, and this is a fairly easy aircraft to get started. I'm not gonna even bother with this push people because for some reason they always mess it up. So that's one thing I wanna mention, because one thing I did, we're gonna go with 25% fuel. One thing I am trying to unload things that are bloating my experience here and getting in the way. Which, by the way, 2024 now after Sim Update 2, it's been great. I have no issues with it. No crashes to desktop, no other issues. The frame rate is great. So, it's because I've been doing a couple of things, and we'll talk about it after we get going here. All right, so we are gonna make sure that we're right now on our right tank. We'll just go to the left tank here. Come on, there we go. Condition lever full forward, prop full forward, and then we're going to get our battery going here. Beacon lights, all of that goes on. We don't need the, let me see, chocks are off, tow bar is off, that's good to go. So we don't need this, and we don't want to waste the battery, so I'm just going to pull the flight plan later on, and we're going to crank the throttle just a bit. Fuel pump goes on. We got good fuel pressure over here, and we're not clear prop, but that's alright. We don't mind if we kill these people here. Alright, we got a good start here. Gonna bring it to just about 1200 RPMs. That is good. We're gonna load our flight plan. By the way, I did check that the parking brake
TOS system test OK.
Parking brake was on, and all of these circuit breakers are in. So, flight plan, menu, catalog, menu, import, and we're going to Laconia to Kpvd, and we're going to activate that. The reason I'm doing this is we're flying VFR. I'm not gonna use any ATCs today, and the reason I'm just gonna use the autopilot because I want to be able to, talk about these things for Flight Sim Expo, and just gonna let this is a it's a pretty good autopilot here on this aircraft. It's simple, but it works really well. I'm gonna bring this down. Alright, so landing lights go on. We don't need the, well, we're just gonna turn on the pitot heat. Yesterday was really hot, but today it's okay. So we're gonna turn on the pitot heat, although we're just gonna fly about, our initial altitude is about 4,000, so it's not gonna be an issue. All right, we're gonna be taking off from runway 8. We got a wind star 70 at 9 knots. So we're taking off from runway 8. Just a little bit of a wind component here, not too bad. Make sure the altitude is correct. So runway 8 is to our right. And we'll go slow here. Laconia, really, they don't like us speeding along the way here on this airport. They do pay attention to that. If you're speeding, they'll give you a ticket. Truly, they do. They'll notice you going too fast, and they'll write you a ticket. So when you come back, you'll have that to pay. All right. You see that wind? It's kind of a stiff wind coming from the east. By the way, here at in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, this airport looks a lot bigger than it actually is. So I'm gonna check to see if there are any freeware handcrafted airports here for Laconia. I haven't done that. I'll just have to check that out because, being our home airport, we want to make sure that it's nicely done here, and it's not like this, because this is, you don't see that at this airport. It's too big. It's a nice little airport, but it's just fantastic. It's just right on the southern edge of Lake Winnipesaukee, and it's just, your approaches here are beautiful, especially in the summer, even in the winter. Alright, so we do have fairly quiet day here at Laconia. We're gonna get going. By the way, my friends, if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. We really would appreciate that here in City. Thank you. Takeoff flaps. Alright, let's check it out. We got our fuel pump, it's on, pitot heats, landing lights, all our lights are on. We have takeoff flaps, All our gauges are good, so we have fuel pressure is good, oil temperature good, oil pressure is good on the green, so we're ready to go. Let's get going. Alright, V1, rotate. I'm gonna use the whole runway here before I bring my gear up. Just best practice for, you know, for this type of aircraft. And we clear the airfield, the runway, and gear up. We are Lake Winnipesaukee. Good times over here. Alright, flaps up. Nice weather today, smooth flying. Should have a smooth flight to Green International Airport here in Providence. Yeah, so I am sort of like reassessing all of these add-ons that I have added to both 2020 and 2024. Frankly, you know, like GSX. It's more of a hassle than anything else. I'm going to start turning to catch our track here. Really, it is half of the time it doesn't work well. When it works, it doesn't work well. So sorry if GSX, you know, you gotta do something about all these issues that we have with your software. By the way, I'm not the only one. That's Gunstuck Ski Resort there. Yeah, beautiful day. We're gonna get some clouds when we get to Rhode Island, but that's not a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to select altitude hold here. Turn on the altitude hold. Yeah, Gunstock. It's not a big ski area, but it's you know, if you're starting, you know, beginner skier and, you know, beginner to intermediate, you know, it's great. All right, I'm gonna select. We have our GPS track, so we're going to turn that on. I'm going to catch on to that one. And alright, so I'm going to bring the props back to 2400. It's a little bit high here. I'm going to bring it to 2400. That's good. Alright, fuel pump is off, landing lights off, we'll keep everything else on, and we are good on our gauges here. Fuel pressure, the oil temperature, oil pressure, all is good. We are catching our track here. So I'm on, like I said, unloading all these add-ons that really just in some way or another just create some problems, some performance issues, things like that. You know, GSX. The Phoenix, when I do fly airliners, the Phoenix has a pushback. I use that, no big deal. Um, you know, in terms of immersion, if you want to hear, I'm not one to hear all these, people talking when they're boarding or anything like that. It just creates, adds on to your memory usage. I'm not for it. Other things like, ATC services. I mainly use FS-HUT. I've been using FS-HUT from the beginning. Once in a while I use Beyond ATC just to change it over. But that's about in terms of that. Oh, the thing, and we're going to talk about this other add-on that I have that I love. It's from Parallel 42. It's the toolbar. It's Flow Pro, and I use that quite a bit. I'm waiting for it to come to 2024, and also the other product that they have is Chase Plane. So still waiting for them to port it over to 2024. It works really well on 2020. So those are my software add-ons, and of course Navigraph, which I'm thinking that maybe we don't need anymore when we have this all these. I'm gonna import into flight plan into the flight tool over here, and you can do that from SimBrief, which is really helpful. I still don't have a way of importing the flight plan into the PDS NXI here. For some reason it still doesn't work, so I use SimBrief Downloader. So if it works for you, let me know. I haven't found a way of making that work. So thinking that we may not need Navigraph anymore. So we have all these LiDAR charts over here, and they're fantastic. So yeah, you see, as a GA, I mainly fly GA aircraft, so as GA is just, they're fine, they're great. So why pay $9.99 every month for Navigraph when this tool really does the job for like 95% of the time? So yeah. So if we go to our route and we select our destination, and our weather there is going to be the runway we're going to be using is runway 5, probably the best run. We do have a crosswind component, not a big one here. So yeah, runway 5, and then you have your charts over here, arrivals, approaches, runway 5 ILS. So yeah, this is all available here. So Navigraph, it's one that's on the chopping block for me. Anyway, why don't we just get started, and I'm gonna just go to the website, and I have my pass here that I can go in and look at the flight plan, the floor plan for 2025, and let's see what vendors we have and what are they offering me here right now. All right, so here's the floor plan, and we have exhibit booth over here. Let me try to see if I can get this to show better closer here. All right, so get rid of this one. And we have a exhibit booth over here showing us blue activities, and we can click on those, and seminar stages, food, beverages, all of that. So if we click, get closer over here, let's say we are looking at the floor plan here. Let's start with so got FS Elite, and it gives you information about what they're gonna be doing, and they give you a event schedule here on the details. We can click on that, and so Sunday we have morning coffee and tea. It's sponsored by Say Intentions AI, and then we have from 9 a.m. to 3. So this is gonna be 8:30 to 10 a.m. So we'll get coffee from Say Intentions. We used to use Say Intentions. We don't do that anymore. I just think it's like I said, I'm trying to unload all these add-ons, software add-ons, and Say Intentions is one great program, fantastic, it works well, but I have an issue with subscriptions, so I don't do subscriptions anymore. We have then the layout over here. One thing that I'm really excited about is just checking with Parallel 42 and because I'm waiting for a couple of things from them. Flow Pro, it's one of my favorite add-ons, so I am, I'm saying I'm unloading, but that's one I'm gonna keep. So I want to see if they're making any progress for 2024 to bring that in. Still some we're still waiting for that. And the other one that I'm also waiting for 2024 is Chase Plane. I used it in 2020. Fantastic. All their products are great, so I'm keeping. This is an add-on that I am keeping, and I want to go to that booth and talk to them and check that out and see what their progress, see what else that they have available. But like I said, I'm keeping things light on the software side. The other software that vendor that I'm looking for, and that's the other one that I use, is Navigraph. Now I am torn at this point because I think it's time to drop Navigraph. And nothing against them, works really well. I've been using it since the beginning. That's $9.99 that I can get rid of as a subscription. So like I said, I'm trying to unload, especially those subscription services. This is an expensive hobby anyway. You want to try to minimize all in any expenditure that you can. That's what I like to do. And so anyway, but I'll check it out. I'll see what else. I know that they have some exciting news coming up for 2025, so let's check that out. And then the other software vendor that I was thinking about checking out was VATSIM, and I mostly use VATSIM with airliners. Like I said, I Beyond ATC is just a sort of like a backup type of, it works well. I mean, I had some issues at first with them, but it really works well. But VATSIM I use on airliners. The only thing, about VATSIM is that, coverage area and all that. So but if you back it up with Beyond APC, it just works really well. It's gonna be a whole day, so I'm going to see what else is out there. What are these software vendors offering new? As you know, we're looking for maybe I'll just see with say intentions if they have anything else coming up the pipeline. Maybe they have a plan that doesn't include the subscription services or something like that. I don't know. So FS Elite, we'll check those out. But I'm really mostly at this point want to focus on hardware, and I want to see what's out there, what's new on the hardware scene. And of course we want to check out WingWing. Now, I did order something from WingWing. Try to order something, the Airbus FMC or MacDo, and that's when they were having some issues with the tariffs, whatever that whole mess was all about. So they couldn't deliver to me for 45 days, and I kind of I never heard from them back then until recently, and so I said to myself, I'm just gonna wait and go there and check it out, see if they have anything available. Although it's gonna be Sunday, maybe if they did bring in stuff to sell, they probably by Sunday might be out of stock. But anyway, we'll check them out. I'm excited about WingWing and what other products they have available, what other hardware. There are other hardware vendors over here. So we have Honeycomb, Meridian, Scalarkey. See what Honeycomb has to offer too. But we'll have to check out Honeycomb and what they have and what the new products they have at this point. Let's check out Scalarkey. And this is a high-end type of simulator hardware. So they make the highest quality flight simulator hardware. This is if you want to kind of build a full simulator.
Contact Boston Center 121.35 Delta 1748. Take care.
Yeah, that at some point, we're gonna look at that. I'm kind of excited about this actually, and what they have, and maybe test out some of their products. Yeah, that's gonna be. I'll spend some time in there. But let me know, my friends. Let me know what if you are going to the Expo. Let me know what you're excited about. If you're not going to the Expo, you can get online pass there. I did that last year. I was able to watch some of the presentations, and that was great. You can't beat just going in there and testing out some of these products here, especially here on these hardware for this hardware vendors. So X-Plane. I have to tell you, I'm not a fan of X-Plane. I had X-Plane 411, and it's just, there's no comparison. I mean, people say, oh yeah, no, the flight models are better and all. Frankly, there might be there is a difference, but it's just the minimal. I mean, it's minimal difference, and you can't beat 2024 Microsoft, the graphics, and you go around the world, and it's just fantastic. Let me know in the comments down below what do you think about X-Plane. Alright, so what else do we have here? Orbs. See what new products they have, and cover Honeycomb, any builds, software, airplanes. I mean, I got a bunch of them, and I'm not impressed with Inibuilds. We'll see what else they have. Maybe they'll have some new products coming out. The 350. I don't need another Airbus. I am very happy with the Phoenix, the Airbus, the 319, the 320, and the 321. Very happy with those. I fly those, and then PMDG. I got the 737, and I really haven't flown that in such a long time. So I'm just an Airbus. When I fly airliners, I'm Airbus. All right. So what else? We have a Meridian, and so this is they are coming out with new products here. This is something that they're focusing on at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how they stack up with the other, like the wings and the honeycombs. It'll be great. I'm looking forward to check those out. All right. So what else do we have here? PU Air Korea. There's got some gear too. I'm not familiar with them, so check them out. Yeoman handheld cockpit controllers. We'll check those out. I'm not familiar with them either. Thrustmaster Mosa. Not familiar with them. I'll check them out and see what they have to offer. All right, flight control. So there's a bunch of these smaller vendors here. Home Sim. I'm kind of looking forward to see checking out these small vendors. So Siggy Air will be there. Siggy, I'll do a live stream from there. So stay tuned for Sunday. I'll do a live stream. I'll schedule that on YouTube. All right, so we have the city of Providence to our left here. We are set to for our landing on runway 5, and we're just about 22 nautical miles from the airport. We're gonna come in, and we're flying direct to Neti, and then taking a left into runway 5. So should be descending right as we come into Neti, and then we should be at 2000 at Kutz, and then runway 5. That's an ILS. We're going to do a visual into runway 5, even though it's just overcast, but our ceiling is 7,000, so we are all good. And yeah, the city of Providence and the state of Rhode Island. All right, we got the runway in sight. Weather is good. All right, let's start getting configured for our landing here. Gotta lose some more speed here. And gear down. Speed is good. Just a little bit off the track here.
500.
As always with 2024, we get this surface turbulence here. It's exaggerated. beautiful center line. Nice and smooth. I'm gonna take this exit over here. If it's available. To the left. I think the GA hangars are over here. All right, so it's yeah, it's great that we are here in Rhode Island. I mean, I'm glad that I'm able to attend. Last year was in Vegas, and I wasn't able to do that. But this year, being so close to where I live in my home airport here, yeah, couldn't pass that on. And so Siggy Air will be there, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get a live stream. Not sure what the connections are, you know, if I'm gonna be able to do a good connection from there. If not, I'll go ahead and record the video and report back the next day. On Monday we'll have a video. Let me see, I think that we can get in here. It's a parking spot right at the end. It's always full here. It's always full on 2024. Suppose I can change those parameters there and not make change the number of aircraft there, AI aircraft. So. All right, my friends, welcome to Rhode Island, to Providence, Rhode Island, and welcome to Flight Sim Expo 2025. All right, any questions, any comments? I appreciate any comments down below. And remember, Siggy Air will get you there. Siggy Air is best in the air. My friends, I don't make this stuff up. I'm only told what to say. I'll see you on the next video when we report back on Flight Sim 2025.